Hey there, Jed Coverdance here from jedcoverdance.com. This is Talk Therapy, where I simply empty the water glass, right? Or the water gets so damn full, you keep pouring it in the glass and it starts to run over. Well, that's what this does, is it helps you empty that glass. Without you even realizing it, really. So how it works is I just talk. I think and then I talk. Like, actually, it's the other way around. I talk and then I think, because that's the point, is we don't really ever stop and think about what we want, and we don't ever break our habits. We just continuously move and move and move and move and hope and hope and hope and hope, and then nothing happens. Well, when you're sitting down and you're like, oh man, I can just see it, right? I can just see it. This is what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then it happens. You want to know why it happens? Because you talked about it. Because you talked yourself into it already happening. And that's what this is, right? I'm talking myself into what's going to happen. Every day I wake up, today's going to be the best day of my life. Today's going to be the best day of my life. And it is. And it's awesome. And I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Every day with these talks there, I have no idea. And that's the coolest part, is what's really nuts about what's happening right now is people, let me just take a second, and this is just me, right? I'm literally just talking to myself. As people are starting to come around to the fact that I may know what I'm actually talking about. Like, I was talking about it yesterday when I was training a client. I love it. I just love it. I was sitting there, and my client asked me, do you think that person walking on the track knows that you're a trainer? And that's a pretty funny conversation, because, boy, I'd hope so, because otherwise I'd be looking like an asshole, somebody sitting in the corner of the gym, and the other, watching a person work out while I was on the phone because my internet connection was really crappy and I needed to have my other client, who I train virtually, I needed contact with her. And it's just funny because if a person doesn't know that I'm a physiologist, exercise physiologist, or whatever you want to conceptualize me as, a trainer, a coach, or whatever, by now, then, right, I'm just going to keep pushing forward with it. I will just keep letting people know that my philosophy is, I want you to be better than me. If you are better than me, I win. And then if you're not better than me, I still win. Like, I can't lose. Like, you got to set yourself up. You got to put yourself in a situation where you cannot lose, right? And I figured that out. Well, I'm not going to go that far. I have not figured that out. And here's why. So as soon as you tell yourself you figured something out, your higher power, your God, your higher mind, your innate intelligence, whatever you want to call it, right? The universe. I'm not going to get into politics or ethics about God or religion, but what I'm saying, though, is as soon as you have officially, quote unquote, figured something out, you're not going to get help anymore with that, with whatever you have, quote unquote, figured out. So as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, I figured that out. No, I take that back. Because I love the unknown. I love not knowing what's going to happen next. Falling in love with not knowing what is going to happen. 2016 was that. Oh, and I think I just found my one word for 2017. Actually, it just found me. Unknown. There it is. Yeah, that lays heavy in my heart. That lays not heavy, but like that actually like it doesn't weigh me down, but it actually gives me freedom. Like, unknown. Love the unknown. That's my one word, 2017, one word. Oh man, there's so much happening right now. Like, this is what talk therapy does. Like, this is what it does, is it just gives you the opportunity to empty that glass so that your creative, your CEO, the big part of your brain that just wants to shine all the time but doesn't get a chance to because the rest of your brain is so incoherent that it doesn't let it to. The part of the brain I'm talking about is the frontal lobe. As human beings, we have the biggest frontal lobe known on this planet, right? Like, it gives us the opportunity to create. It gives us the opportunity to be in the future instead of living in the past. And once you cool down the rest of your brain, the operating system, that part gets to take over and you get to be free and live and awesome. And that's what I just experienced right now. Like, anybody listening to this, you totally just experienced me in what happened. Like, my one word found me, and that's unknown. And that as soon as when you live by your one word, you get to just be. You get to just love life. And unknown is my one word. Look it up. I think it's oneword.com. Read the book. It's only like 100 pages. It's not only, but it's 100 pages. Very, very, very fast read. And especially, if you're always pressed for time or whatever, live by your one word. It's awesome. My one word for 2017 is unknown. The word itself is unknown, and loving the unknown and living in the unknown. Man, that is so dang cool. So what I've done in the past 2 years is I have these rocks and I put my one word on them. My first one was grow. My second one last year was proof. Then this year it is unknown. I gotta find a rock and paint it on there and put it by the other two. But that is some amazing stuff happening today. It doesn't matter what day it is. Every day is the best day of my life. And I just learned that. I think it was like Monday of this week. That's no joke. Monday of this week. That's full disclosure, truth. And I decided right away when I wake up. I stand in the mirror, because you always have the same. I'm breaking habits, and the habit that I'm breaking and creating at the same time is not just looking in the mirror, looking at myself, going, okay, yep, here we go. Let's get this day going and feel good about myself. But I'm looking in the mirror going, today is going to be the best day of my life. And has it ever been since I've started saying that? And I used to say talk therapy, first 5 minutes is, with my ego, second 5 minutes is blah, 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 ego. But the more I do this, the better and better and better I feel about what's going on about myself. My ego is checked at the door most part of the day. Most part of the day. I'm human, right? Like, we always fall into it, but like, you gotta suffocate negativity, check your ego at the door. And ego isn't like I'm better than everybody else. Your ego is that voice in your head that continues to tell yourself that, oh, you're better than this, and how come people always make you do that, and how come you just you don't do this, maybe just start tomorrow, I'm too tired, stuff like that. No freaking way. No way. It doesn't happen like that. You're choosing to listen to that voice, and that voice can turn into something else. You just have to be aware of what that voice is actually saying. It's nuts to me that people continue to listen to that voice that tells them tomorrow. Do you know how many tomorrows add up before your life is damn near over? What does that look like? A conversation comes to mind right now. It's popping in crazy. And my mom turned 45. Yep, she turned 45. And I remember wishing her a happy birthday. And I said, hey, happy birthday. How does it feel to be potentially at your half life? Like, half of your life is over. And she's like, geez, thanks a lot. And I remember her, just kind of being a little, angry. Maybe not angry, but like annoyed at that. I think it's because it's true. Like, 45. Hell, today could be my half-life. I'm 31, right? I could only live to 60. I don't know. But the whole thing is, and I love that I don't know. I'm going to say that too. But the whole thing is, it comes down to simply being aware of your life. Now, I paused right there because I'm talking to myself right now. Simply being aware of my life. By the time I reach 35, my habits are pretty solid. Like, it's kind of hard to change after you're 35, but it doesn't matter. You can still change. But the thing is that living in the unknown and being aware of your external sources is what? Where does that lead you? That leads you to create. That leads you to the divine. That leads you to a different destiny that you are in control of. And that's massive. It leads you to believe that you can do anything. And like I was saying, that conversation was so different because we talked about life instead of death. Like, I think people talk about death all the time, and they fear it. Like, I think we fear death because we want so much more in life, but we're so afraid to go after it. I'm starting not to fear death, because when you live, it's okay. When you completely live, death is not the option, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid I'm gonna die. Like, I'm afraid for people around me if I die, because I hope, actually no, I'm preparing to live every day instead of preparing to die. That's really what it comes down to. And I talked about that the other day, and that's literally what it comes down to. How are you living? Are you setting the tone for your day, for your life every day? And I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm asking these questions to myself. Are you preparing your day for life to live, or for life to die? And I feel like I am. Like, I am preparing my life to live every day. And that's a massive difference. Because when it comes down to doing something, I mean, we all have to do stuff every day, right? There's just have to do. Like, we have to put on clothes. For some reason, society says we have to put on clothes. Now, I'm not saying I'm complaining that I have to put on clothes. I'm just saying, like, there's things that we have to do every day. But if we can live 75% happy, like 3 out of 4 things that you get to do every day, and you love it, like, you absolutely want to do it with every moment every day, and you can work on that 75% and bring that up to like 76% in a month, 77% in another month, 78%. I mean, being aware of your happiness, like really auditing it, putting some good awareness and numbers around what that means. Thinking about how happy am I? What is happiness? What does happiness look like for me? Literally, these are questions I'm asking myself right now. And happiness looks like something like this for me. I was training my clients last night. And I trained my clients on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Thursday nights. And that's true happiness for me. The change that happens in their brain when they learn something new, not only physically, like a new movement or a new ability that they learn, but when they learn something new about themselves, like, that wasn't so bad. Exactly. Or, wow, okay, I got through way more than I thought I was going to today. Or, oh wow, all right, I know, that would have been way worse 3 weeks ago. I mean, all of these things happen. And the awareness that is behind it, that's massive. That is massive amount of change happening in a short amount of time. And I used to fear, like this is only a few weeks ago, I used to fear that how I train people and how the program that I've put together, the exact daily, right, the WODs, the workouts, it might be too much change too fast, but it's not. It's just enough, because it's at most like 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 5, whatever you're looking for. But it's the last time you'd ever have to start anything. And if you actually do the work, it'll come through. It'll happen. So that's what it's about, doing the work. And every day, this has just been the best day of my life. No joke. So hop on my newsletter. That's it right there. That's Talk Therapy. Talking out loud. I have no idea what I'm talking about every day, but I love it. jedcoverness.com/newsletter. Put your name and email in. See you on the other side with everything that I have to offer. Most of it's free because that's just how it works. If you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. I believe in you. Now it's your turn to start believing in yourself. Stay safe out there. Be blessed. Bye for now.